Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley. I'm a full-time reseller. Today we are going to be going over my weekend sales from Friday morning, afternoonish after I ship my sales to Sunday night. Friday was April 28th and Sunday was April 30th. So if you see me looking down or over to the side, it's because I'm looking at my sales. So let's get into it. It was a pretty slow weekend. You know, we're getting into that time of year. So yeah, let's just get right into it. There's really not too much to go over. So on Friday, I only had a couple sales. We will start with eBay. First thing I sold was this Calvin Klein faux suede sheath dress. It was actually really nice. Like, it felt really nice. I loved the color purple that it was. I only had this for about a month, and it actually sold for my full asking price of $34.81, which was amazing. This also sold for my full asking price of $24.81. It is this vintage Karen Hart. It's this beautiful crochet, like open knit type. It was kind of like popcorn knitty. It had like little balls on it, if you know what I mean. Boho, perfect for this time of year, would be perfect for a cover up. Had these beautiful accent buttons. Again, this sold for my full asking price of $24.89. $24.81, if I could talk. Next, moving on to Poshmark. I sold this LL Bean vintage, or it wasn't vintage, just this LL Bean cardigan, men's cardigan. I sent them an offer of $21 and they accepted. So after Poshmark fees and shipping discount, I made $14.78. Next were these roller skates. These were actually my daughter's skates. She did not have these very long. She wore these maybe a total of like 7 times, and she recently got a new pair already, an upgraded pair. So I listed these on Poshmark and eBay. They sold for my full asking price of $25 on Poshmark. I had a net profit of $20 because I had nothing into those since those were my daughter's. So that is everything that sold on Friday. Like I said, it was a pretty slow sales day. So that's everything that sold Friday afternoon to like into Saturday. I ship my sales early on Friday, so anything that sells after that, I typically will not ship out until Monday morning. So moving on to Saturday, again, a pretty slow sales day. Starting with my Poshmark sales, the first thing I sold were these Levi's men's 505 jeans. These were actually given to me, so I didn't have anything into these. I sent the buyer an offer of $12. They accepted. So after the shipping discount and Poshmark fees, I made a net profit of $7.03. Next, I sold this vintage Joe A. Bank golf print. I thought it was super cute, super unique. Polo. I didn't have this for very long. Again, I sent the buyer an offer of $10. Oh no, you know what? They sent me an offer of $10, and then after Poshmark fees, I made $7. And I'm pretty sure I got that from the bins, so I only had about $1 into it. And that is all that I sold on Poshmark on Saturday. So on eBay on Saturday, the first thing I sold was this dress. I've had this for a while now. The buyer sent me an offer of $10. I'm pretty sure this was sold on Revolve at one point, and I think that's why I got it. I got it really cheap. I only paid like $1 for it. But again, the buyer sent me an offer of $10, so I probably made about a $7 net profit on that one. Next was this vintage Marissa Christina crochet knit cardigan. Super cute, super summery, beach print. I've had this for a while. As you could see, I originally had this listed at $29.15. Well, that was my last listing price. I do drop my prices by about 10% every month on any items that are 90 days or older. But the buyer sent me an offer of $12 on this. I accepted because, again, I've had this for a really long time and it was a slow weekend. So I am just trying to accept offers, get any sales that I can. Next was this vintage Justice League, like Batman Joker t-shirt. This was super cute. It was super soft, super comfortable. The buyer sent me an offer of $13.23. So random, but I accepted, and I think I only paid about $1 for that as well. And that was all of my sales for Saturday. Now moving on to Sunday, it was a much better sales day for me on Sunday, mainly because on Poshmark I sent out 40% off offers to all likers on any items that were older than 1 week. That's all. So I've decided from now on, from here on out, as long as I remember, on Sundays, Sunday mornings, Sundays afternoons, I'm going to be sending out bulk offers to likers on all of my listings that are older than a week. And that, I did that for the past 3 weeks, and that really has been bringing in sales for me on Poshmark. And you know what? Even if I'm not selling things as much as I want to sell them, as long as I'm making a profit, as long as I'm getting things out of here, out of my store, I am happy. So we will start with eBay. I only had a couple eBay sales on Sunday. First thing was another full price sale. So I had a lot of full price sale, and actually this is the third full price sale, and they all were $24.81. This sold the same exact day that it was listed for my full price. It was a pair of Levi's 715 bootcut jeans. These style are really popular. If you look them up, they have like a 400% sell-through rate. So they are almost guaranteed to sell. And if you list them correctly, they will sell at your full price, obviously. So I was really happy about that. Next, I sold this vintage Scully, super like grungy, boho, smocked midi maxi skirt. I did not have this for very long. I just listed this recently. I got this from that reseller that I bought all of her inventory because she had decided she was done reselling. So I listed this over the past, I want to say 2 weeks. I had this listed at $48.81. I sent the buyer an offer of $40 and they accepted. And I had a little over $3 into that. Everything that I bought from that reseller, I had just a little over $3 into every piece. So that's amazing. Next was these Champion Spell Out leggings. These were super thin. These were actually given to me. So again, I had nothing into these. The buyer sent me an offer of $12 and I accepted. So moving on to my Poshmark sales. Most of these came from my 40% offers, like I said. Yeah, we will get into it. Actually, the first one was not from my 40% offer. The buyer sent me this offer of $15 and I accepted. It was this vintage polo golf Ralph Lauren polo. I love picking up these polos in a good size, like size extra large or larger, at a super cheap price. These always sell for me, especially if they're more patterned instead of just like a plain print or like a plain solid color. Next, this also sold the same day. This sold almost instantly. As soon as I listed this, pretty much the buyer liked it. I sent them an offer and they accepted. This is from my last thrift with me. I literally just got this last week, just listed it over the weekend, and it sold immediately, like I said. I paid, I think, $5 for this. At the most, $5, maybe even $4. The buyer accepted an offer of $42. So after Poshmark fees, shipping discount, my cost of goods, I made a really good profit on that one and a really quick profit on this. So if you ever see the brand Novella Royale, it's a really good brand. I think this also might be sold on Revolve. And yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen this brand or picked up this brand. So now I definitely know to keep my eye out for this brand. Next were these J. Crew jeans. These were a really good size, a size 32. I've only had these for about a month, maybe a little less. The buyer accepted my offer of $12, and I think I only had a couple dollars into those, maybe even $1. Next was this Tommy Bahama linen dress. Again, the buyer accepted my 40% off offer. It sold for $14, and after Poshmark fees and the shipping discount, I made $9.03 before my cost of goods. This was one of my best sales of the weekend. This was given to me by my lovely boyfriend. He gave me a bunch of clothes about 2 months ago to go through. And if you ever see the brand Indian Motorcycle, which I had never heard of, I have never seen before him, and I didn't know that it sold good. Like, I probably would have never even looked it up. But their t-shirts even will sell relatively quickly for like $18 to $20. But anyways, I had this Indian Motorcycle varsity jacket. The buyer accepted my 40% off offer, and even with the 40% off offer, I sold this for $76. These jackets especially do really well. So again, I had nothing into these because this was given to me. So after my Poshmark fees and the shipping discount, I made $58.78 on this, which was great. I love seeing a $50 net profit. Next were these Clark's unstructured. They had like an embroidery type woven floral-ish pattern on the top. Now Clark's is just like, I think I'm done picking them up, honestly. Depending on the style. I recently sold a style that really sold quickly. That was like a ballet flat type. But these I've had for quite a while. The buyer accepted my offer of $15. So after Poshmark fees and the shipping discount, I made $9.98. Next was this J. Jill cardigan. Again, I just listed this last week. It just sold. The buyer accepted my offer of $21. I made a gross profit of $14.78 before my cost of goods. And if I remember correctly, I only had about $3 into this, which is great. Next, a really quick flip again. This new tag Bila women's maxi dress. I only had a couple dollars into this again. The buyer accepted my offer of $16. Really quick flip. Again, I am really happy with these sales. I want to have higher sales than these. Like, I want my average sale price to be much higher than $16 to $20. However, these little sales add up. And this time of year, especially when it's getting to be slower, I need to make my sales any way I can. So that's one way I do it, is just sending offers. This next sale, again, really quick. This is another item from that reseller that I bought all of her inventory. It was this vintage seersucker long multicolor nightgown. I actually thought it was super cute, super lightweight, super comfortable. It had this embroidery detail right at the neckline here. And the buyer accepted my offer of $17. I had about $3 into that. So after Poshmark fees, cost of goods, shipping discount, I made about $9. Next were these American Eagle jeans. Again, a really quick flip. And you know what? No, the buyer accepted my offer, okay? And this was actually a pair of my jeans that I was getting rid of. I recently went through my jeans last week. I listed these last week. They sold over the weekend already. They were a great size. They were actually a size 16. These were too big for me now. I have lost a decent amount of weight this past year, and so a lot of my jeans don't fit. And these I was kind of just hanging on to because they were comfortable, and I would wear them with a belt, but even with a belt, it was too big. So again, these didn't cost anything to me. I mean, at some point they did. At some point I thrifted them, I know that. They sold for $17, so we're just gonna say that my net profit is $11.58. Next, I have had this for quite a long time. I have had this swimsuit since last summer. It is this Conasol striped red swimsuit. I personally do not do great with selling swimsuits, men's or women's. They just sit for me. I don't know why. I just can never seem to give them away. But this finally sold, and funny enough, it sold to somebody in my own state. I live in Pennsylvania. It sold to somebody in Pennsylvania, which is really funny. It sold for $13, and after shipping discount and Poshmark fees, I made $8.03 before my cost of goods. Again, this was a personal sweatshirt that was mine. I thrifted this a while back. I thought it was super cute. It was this Paul's sweatshirt. If you haven't heard of Paul's before, I think it's something like, when you buy their clothing, a portion of the proceeds goes to an organization to help animals. So I thrifted this for myself a while back. I never really wore it, so I decided to list it. The buyer accepted my offer of $9, and I only made $4. But since it was mine, I didn't really mind that much, and I just listed about a week or two ago, so it sold extremely fast. And last but not least, for my weekend sales, was this racquetball racket. I found this not long ago either, actually. I only paid about $2 for this. The buyer accepted my offer of $22, and so I made a net profit after cost of goods, Poshmark fees, all of that. My net profit was about $15.60. So those were my sales from this past weekend. As I said previously, it was pretty slow. I had a lot of small sales, but I had an okay weekend. I had about a $500 sales weekend, which isn't bad for me. Thanks for watching. If you like reselling content, subscribe. If you like what sold, thrift with me's, hauls, stuff like that, that's what I will be posting here. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.